everyone. I just wanted to pop on really briefly to just show you how easy it can be to make a simple syrup, or any syrup really. Working behind a bar, you have to learn to make things quickly, and that means that we've developed a really simple way, being behind the bar, to make syrups that really takes no time at all. If you want to make it more complicated, you can, and cook these syrups on your stove and vary the ratios. But this is really a simple technique. This is specifically the chamomile orange syrup that I am doing for Lammas or Lughnasadh. And this is great because it combines the powers of orange, which is vibrancy, creativity, luck, love, purification, and abundance, with chamomile, which is great for money, communication, calming, psychic ability, purification. And so together, the syrup is zesty. I'm actually really happy with how it came together. Cane sugar for this syrup, and the zest of the orange came through brilliantly and just complemented the chamomile so well. And so it's a wonderful syrup that I'm probably gonna use again and again. And the energy is really brightening. It's good for abundance, for clarity, for creativity, and a little bit of purification. So to me, it's a great one for like invoking new ideas, changing your energy, and bringing in prosperity and abundance with the harvest time. Now you can, if you want, also just make a honey syrup, and I'll tell you how to do that after we do this. So you can do what works for best for you. So first thing you're gonna need, I am using orange peels, these two little guys right here. This is the best part because it doesn't have the citrus juices, but it has the oils locked in there, which is really what we want. So it allows for cleaner expression without adding in that extra acidity. And so I'll show you really quickly how you're gonna do this, because this is just a general bartending technique that we're gonna use again and again in my book or here on this page. And I'm gonna use a lemon because I was thinking ahead, obviously. So I'm just gonna show you really quickly. You kind of wanna get it that you really just want the peel and the pith. You don't want, see that the pith right there, the white part, and you got the peel, and you can see all those kinds of pores that contain the oils that we want. So it's the same thing for orange. So you're gonna take your two orange peels, you're gonna need that. And then one of my favorite things for like super easy syrups is using tea, which everyone has. If you don't have chamomile tea at home, go get some, because it's very basic tea to have. And it's just great because then you don't have to like go searching through your herb cabinet and finding something different. You can literally just use a tea bag and play around with different teas. Use chai tea, use Earl Grey. I have an Earl Grey ginger syrup that I do in my book that's just delicious for a Moscow Mule. So I'm using a tea. I don't really want to put any extra effort. So you're gonna go ahead and grab a mason jar, something to contain it, so you can refrigerate it. I use mason jars because I do syrups all day, so I need to be nifty with my space. You're gonna take your orange peel. If you wanna spend a moment connecting with the herb and the orange peels to just really connect to that creativity, energy, you can imagine light coming up through your head, through your body, and out your hands, connecting your energy and activating the energy of your ingredients. So spend a moment really connecting, visualizing what this syrup is for. So I'm visualizing creativity, abundance, calming, but energy, natural energy, and just putting that in there. So that way I can cleanse my energy, but move forward this harvest season to take advantage of the two amazing harvests. Next, I've used my tea kettle, quite literally an electric tea kettle, to boil water, and when it's done, I just measure out about a half cup, and you're gonna go ahead and pour it over your ingredients there. And you're just gonna let that sit for a minute, probably about 5 minutes usually. It's just like making tea. So simple syrup is 1-to-1 ratio of sugar to water. And since you're using hot water, why not do the same thing you do with tea, basically make a tea, and then add sugar in. So you get that natural, more expression of flavor. And so I would usually let that sit for a minute, but since I don't want to make you wait 5 minutes for this to finish, I'm gonna go ahead and add in now my half cup of sugar. Now you do want to measure these separately because sugar dissolves in water. So if you try and use any increments of where you know half cup or whatever is on here, it's not going to be correct. So measure them separately. I'm going to go ahead and pour in my sugar now, pretend it's been 5 minutes that this has been sitting. And you can see I put that in there. I have my tea in there. And you're just going to go ahead and stir. Usually I would put the cap on the mason jar and just shake it. You can see there, I'm behind the bar and I'm in the middle of a shift. I don't have time to sit there and stir something. I don't know if you guys do the same thing with your salads, where instead of stirring your salad, you just throw the dressing on and shake the container. It's literally what I do half the time if I'm bartending or something, because I don't have time to wait, you know? And so there you have it. Very simply made. Now, I find with simple syrups, when you're just doing cane sugar, the infusion happens almost immediately if you let it sit for the appropriate amount of time with hot water. You can let it infuse in your refrigerator for up to 24 hours if you want to see if you can get any added flavor. Personally, I found waiting 24 hours, it's very rare with a cane sugar type syrup to get any added flavors. When it's a honey syrup is the same thing. A 1-to-1 ratio of honey to hot water, so you can do it the exact same way. Get your ingredients, pour hot water over it, let it sit for 5 minutes, and then put the same measure of honey on top. Honey, I have found, if you're adding other things to it, let's say you're gonna use the same exact recipe, the orange peel and the chamomile, you would wanna let it sit definitely for 24 hours because it takes a little bit longer with the honey to get those flavors. The longer it sits together, the more nuanced the flavor is gonna get with something like honey that already has such a pronounced flavor element to it. But I would say, do not make this syrup with honey unless you just want the energy and not necessarily a taste, because the taste does not come through as well with the honey in this one. But in other flavors, you add more pronounced flavors like elderberry, you'll notice an infusion more so after 24 hours. And so there you have it. That is your syrup, is literally all it is. It takes no time at all. You can play with all of your teas, throw in whatever you want. And now you can let it sit for a little bit, let it cool off, strain it, and use it for your cocktail. So I'm gonna use this for, I think, an old-fashioned, although I might try the old-fashioned with honey syrup. You can do both. And I have this lovely beer cocktail that I just totally love that I'm gonna show you guys later on. So cheers. Thank you for joining, and I hope this was useful and you can realize that syrup making can be very simple. So have fun, you guys, and happy Lammas.